everyone, my name is Chi, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my end of the year TBR, all the books I want to read before the year ends so I can reach my reading goals, so I don't have these books on my TBR shelves when the new year starts, and these books that I've had for way too long and I need to see whether I need to unhaul them before 2024 comes around or if I should keep them. So here we go. So I'm about 20 books away from my reading goal, which is usually where I am in November, which, you know, slight work. 20 books in 2 months, I could do that in my sleep. Literally cannot, but you know what I mean. So here are those books. First book is The Girl with Stars in Her Eyes. My think this is about a girl who joins a rock band. Apparently it says romancereads.com on it, so apparently it says a romance, but nothing about the synopsis is giving romance. I got it because there's a black girl on the cover. I'm gonna keep it 100 and it was 20% off. I think it was an extra 10% off that 20% at Target. So I was like, either way, this book gonna be on my shelf. So that's why I have this one. I'm gonna read it. Yeah, I think a black girl should be in rock bands and things of that nature. So that's one of the ones I'm gonna read. Dance of Thieves. I got this one, obviously, buy one get one 50% off. It was quite cheap. I think it's a YA book. This was going around BookTok a long time ago, so I probably bought it around those times, but I didn't read it around those times because I don't know, I was in my not like other girls era. I didn't want to read all the books that all the other girls are reading. That's not me though. I'm very much like other girls. A stunning new adventure set in the kingdom of the remnants. Don't know what that means, but it's a brilliant fantasy with a boldly beating heart. Oh, it's a duology. I love a duology. The art of the duology needs to be studied and why it's so much superior to trilogies and so much superior to series. Like a duology? Ooh, that's all I need. Standalones, okay, they be eaten, but a duology? Perfect. So I think this is a fantasy romance YA duology. That's all I know about it and it sounds great. This one is Prudence by Gail Carriger. I read the first book in the original. I'm pretty sure this is a spin-off series about maybe the star is that they're called, the main character. This is the graphic novel version, but I never read this. I read the non-graphic novel version of the girl in this book. I think this may be her daughter, but this is a spin-off. Whatever. And yeah, I really liked that book. What was it called? Solace was really, really good. It was such a different take on paranormal, on like just monsters, on vampires and werewolves. It was such a different take, especially because it's set in Victoria times, on like souls. It was such a different take and I really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up every book that I see, probably by this author. Yeah, because I liked that book. I liked it a lot. Anatomy, a love story. This book, and I have the first one. Oh, here it is. Immortality. I got these because the conversion rate for buying books in other countries made these so cheap. This was like $8 for like both of these new books. I got them in Italy, and yeah, I think I just got them because they were cheap. A fast-paced early romance tale of mystery, romance, and cadavers. What is cadaver? Is a cadaver not a dead body? Or is it something fish related? Something about cadavers reminds me of fish. I don't know which one's the first book, but I have both of them, and I usually don't like to buy the second or the follow-up books in a series or a trilogy or a duology. Is this really recording? Yes, it is. Or anything like that, if I haven't read the first book, but because these were so cheap, I did that. So I'm gonna read whichever one's the first one and see if I like it. It says a love story, immortality. So it's obviously fantasy romance, which is my schnick, which is all I read, which is my brand. So gothic tale full of mystery and romance. Yeah, and I'm getting into my mystery bag. I read Truly Devious. I was like, this book ate down. I loved it. How come it took me so long to read it? Yeah, so I'm in my mystery bag and everything should have romance in it because I'm a hopeless romantic. So yeah, I'm gonna love that one. Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Let's first take a pause on how this is the greatest title of any book ever. Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, like Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. Like this is the title that all the books are like a court of horse and tarns and a court of all these things. Though this is the title that those books think they have. Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation, like eating. Anyways, I have an unhealthy obsession with light novels. Obviously, I feel like it was a gateway because I love manga. So the next step up is light novels. If I see a light novel, I'm buying it. If it's the 7th in a series I have not started, I'm buying it. All my rules for not buying books do not apply to light novels because the covers, gorgeous, the story, always eaten. They got pictures. Yes, I'm a 12-year-old because if you have pictures, come on now, it gets the people going. So, to be honest, I have no idea what this is about. A novel series that inspired the live-action drama The Untamed. Oh my god, there's a drama, and I think this, I may be wrong, I'm pretty sure this is of Chinese origin, and I do love C-dramas. Anyways, Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. I think it has to do with like body swapping. Love that. I think it might be found friendship, found family. I don't know. It's gonna eat because a cover like this and you can't not eat. So I'm excited for that one. Daughter of the Moon Goddess, I got this as a gift about a year ago and I was so excited to read it, but this is when I discovered I actually hate hardcovers. I love to look at them, but I don't like to actually read them and hold them, and also the dust jacket for this got ruined really early and that made me so upset that I took it out on this book by not reading it, which is not what someone should do. I think I got to chapter 4, so I'm finally gonna read this and I'm excited because I also already have the sequel. Don't be like me, don't do that. Pieces by Helen Oyeyemi. I have seen this book probably at every bookstore I've ever been, every used bookstore I've ever been to in my entire life, and I always pick it up. I always read the synopsis. I always be like, I kind of think I should, but maybe I won't like it because it seems like it could be really sad, or it could be really, no, that's really the only reason. I feel like it seems like it can be really sad, or something that'll make me, you know, feel a little too much. So I never picked it up, but then I was like, girl, pick this damn book up. Like, you see it every day. The world is telling you that you need to read it. The worst thing that can happen is it will be bad or it will make you sad and then you'll DNF it. So I finally picked it up. Also, this girl has so many books. Like, if this book is good and she has so many books, like, I should read it to find out if I should read all her other books. This seems like a lot. It's actually not. That's only been 8, but it's also for 2 months. Ace of Spades. I've had this book for way too long to not read it. You know what it's about. I'm gonna read it. This is a graphic novel for Speak, which is a book that I never read, but I know it's like, it reminds me when I think, or when I see like the art, it reminds me of the Lonely Bones or the Lovely Bones. That one where the teacher kidnapped the girl. Is it the teacher when the man? Whatever. It reminds me of that, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm in the mood for like, here's the thing, I hate sad books, but if it's sad and then like sadness is a part of the middle, but then the end is like everything works out and we're all happy, I love those. Are actually my favorite. But if the ending is sad or the ending is ambiguous and you know the ambiguity just leaves you sad, don't want that. So I kind of want this because I feel like this is gonna have like, you know, a coming of age and nice, like everything works out for the better type of ending, but it's gonna be sad all the way through. And sometimes you need that, especially in the cold months. Buy the book by Jasmine Guillory. Funny thing about this book, I tore apart my room, my house, my life looking for this book because I already had a copy of this book because I got sent a copy of this book and I feel like that copy was signed, and if it was, I'm gonna be so mad. But I could not find it. I was like, where the heck is this book? I know I didn't unhaul it. I know I didn't give it to anyone. Why did I leave it in my room in Nigeria last year? So I obviously needed to buy another copy because I wanted to read it before I go back to Nigeria and get that book. So here it is. I love Jasmine Guillory's romance. Jasmine Guillory is a romance author who has maintained the art of the romance book. I feel like now people do it too much. People do too much. Like, there's all these things, like, just write a romance book. Just write a good romance book. Like, I love a good romance trope. Put in all the tropes and make it good, and Jasmine Guillory does it. Like, her books are so similar, but she eats every single time. So I have to read this. I'm so glad for that one, actually. I'm so excited. Black Sun. I have to read this because it is November is Indigenous People Month. I have been putting off reading this book for so long because it is actually not my cup of tea when I read the synopsis, and just not something I feel like I would like. My little sister didn't like it. Not that my little sister and I have any reading taste in common, because we do not, but she didn't like it, so I'm like, oh, I don't know. But it's this month. It's either you read it, you finish it, or you unhaul it, because you don't deserve it at this point. The Kingseer. I love this series down. It's my favorite series of either 2021 or 2022, but for some reason I cannot get myself to finish this book, and I think it's because I don't want it to end, or I just feel like something penultimate is going to happen. Also, look how ridiculous the amount of words on this page is. I don't think this is going to pick it up. Maybe if I put it back here. It's not. But there's like 10 words on each of these pages. That's why it's so thick. But I am on page 234. And I was like, something bad gonna happen. And if something bad happens to my favorite characters, honestly, that really, I lose sleep at night. Like, no joking. Like, I lose sleep at night. Like, when I thought Inuyasha died, it was a really sad week for me. The Only Good Indians. Again, it's Indigenous People Month. This is a horror. My little sister really liked it. She said the first half of the book is really good. She said the second half, it looked like he was trying to reach a page count, which, you know, I've been there. So yeah, looking forward to reading that. Tori-chan, I'm gonna read this book. I actually have a bunch of manga on my TBR, but this is the only one that's included in this one because I already read it. It's about a boy who falls in love with a crow. It's weird. There's nothing else. It's weird. He falls in love with a crow. It's weird. The crow breaks his heart. That's not even a spoiler. Is it a spoiler? That might be a spoiler. Anyways, it's weird. The Overnight Guest. I'm gonna see if I can get through my thriller bag. I went through this phase where I'm like, I'm gonna start being a thriller girl. Like, the girls are reading thrillers, I want to be like the girls. So I bought a bunch of thrillers. I don't like thrillers though. I don't like thrillers. I'm a fantasy, sci-fi, romance girl. That's the only three things I read. So I've been trying though. I've been trying. I got to page 10, and yeah, I have no desire to pick up the rest, but I have to. Like, I have to. I'm ready for that. Dang, I got so many more books. The Cruel Prince. This is another book that it was so close to being part of my 90 book unhaul, but apparently there's a person in this book who looks like me, which doesn't make any sense because there's no live action, so I don't know what people mean by that. But apparently there's a character, I think they're called the something, I don't know, but people say they look like me. And I also love Holly Black, and there are so many books in this series and spin-offs that I kind of want to just like, you know, I just want to know what's going on. Peculiars. This book 100% should have been unhauled. Like, it's a book that I bought from a used bookstore. I bought it from Book Off for $4, and I don't know anything what it's about, but peculiar is my favorite word. It's been my favorite word since the third grade. It was the third grade vocab quiz, and I've loved it ever since. So, peculiar. I have to read it this month, because after that, there's no way to justify me still having that book. What else on my TBR shelf? Whoa. Beach read. I'm doing a reading vlog, reading all of Emily Henry's books, so that's why this is on here. From Bad to Cursed. I don't know why I'm still keeping this book. Oh, it's queer. That's why. Oh, is it sapphic? Oh, it's sapphic. That's why I kept it. Oh yeah, I think it's a sapphic witchy romance. Oh, how cute. Let me read that. Sounds cute. Shelf. The Midnight Light. This is also sapphic, but this is a sapphic, an epic queer romantic fantasy. From the Lies Others Tell. Reading is not my first language. From the lies others tell us and the lies we tell ourselves. Ooh, ooh, deep. Ooh, ooh. A fate of wrath and flame. I mean, you can tell by the title cadence about what this book is. It's a paranormal romance that's going to be very From Blood of Ash-esque. And I hate comparing books to other books, but this is what it's giving. And I've had this book so long, I'm like, girl, either read it or unhaul it, because I don't even know if you're about that. Priest by Sierra Simone. I bought this book 100% because where I was ordering books from, I needed a book to get free shipping, and shipping was like $10, and this book was like $9. So I'm like, girl math, like, I should get this book. I'm pretty sure it's a romance. It says, he's a priest and here is his confession. Lord. I don't know how I feel about like sexualizing like religious people, whatever, religious people. So we're gonna see about that. We're gonna see like that. I don't really care too much though at the same time, so I could have just lied. The Vine Witch, Book Off. All these books come from Book Off. That place is my exception. Obsession. Never Hex a Witch. This, I feel like I got this book because I used to love that one show, Poisoning Daisies. This man would touch things and they would die, something like that, or they would come alive and he like resurrected a zombie. I don't know, something like that. This reminded me very much of that. So I love that show. So I want to read this book. Is that it? That's it. So those are all the books. I'm not counting that. About 20 books that I want to read before the end of the year, which will put me pretty much exactly where I want to be. I'm also going to read like about 20 manga, so it should put me at a good place for my reading goals. If you made it to the end of this if you made it to the end of this video, please put a clock because time's a ticking. Get on your Zoom, get on your reading goals, finish those books, and if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.